Is there anyone else in the breakout rooms? Yes, we do. Do we? Is Aditya, Carl, are you back? Okay, great. Okay, I would like, is the live on? Live is on. Okay, we do have the voting results. Scrutineers, trouble you to put the voting results, the three numbers. Scrutineers, sorry, the voting results.
It's being updated.
Okay, we have 10 full members voting for IPSF India. With that, the 24th IPSF Asia Pacific Regional Assembly elects IPSF India to host the 8th IPSF APRO Good Pharmacy Practice Education GPD program in 2023. With that, I would like to invite Sonam to say a few words. Sonam, the floor is yours.
Hello, am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
Actually, there was some issue, so I wasn't able to hear what you said. I can just see the text. Congratulations.
All right. Thank you, Sonam. With that, I would like to move on to motion 63, please. Motion 63 states this the 24th IPSF Asia Pacific Regional Assembly elects the following member organization to host the 23rd IPSF Asia Pacific Pharmaceutical Symposium APS in 2024. We did have one member organization bidding coming from PSET Thailand. So do we have the presenter ready? Presenter from PSET Thailand?
Yes, we are here.
Okay, sorry, who was that?
Manjri.
Okay, would you all like to share your own screen or?
Yeah, we can share our own screen.
All right. Okay, the presenters, you have 7 minutes. The floor is yours.
Hello again, everyone. Today, our presenter for the APPS 2024 23rd time. We are looking forward to see you again here in Thailand. The APPS 2024 were expected to be hosted by PSAT Thailand. Next, the contents will be as follows. We are going to introduce our organizations as well as the theme and everything in total. First of all, we would like to say that PSAT has been the full member since 1972, and we have 19 university, and we also have over 8,000 pharmacy students in Thailand. Next, the Congress experience we have is including the Congress experience of the World Congress in 2011, APPS Thailand 2003, 2008, 2015, and also APPS 27 in Bangkok. And we also have some national events that we host together is the camp, the games, and the annual Congress. So we are hoping to have APPS again in Thailand in 2024, but the location will be changed. So this is our team. My name is Manjri, and I'm the president of the APPS Thailand 2024. This is our vice president, including Tango and Wawa. Next is our secretary, who has been making this wonderful slide, and I would really appreciate to thank them. And this event, we are planning to be the first hybrid symposium in Thailand, because we think that hybrid meetings allow both personal connections and the connections that can extend far beyond the physical confines. So for example, if the candidates or delegates come to the on-site event, we would like them to also meet the other delegates from other countries as well. So the mission is to make APPS available to everyone, not only in Asia Pacific area. Maybe other pharmacy students would like to join this excellence opportunity as well. So the following is the theme. We are hosting it under a theme called Pharmacy, exploring the magic and enhancements of Thailand with a journey at is satisfying best. So because Thailand is a tropical country and we'll have lots of herbs, we are really looking forward for you guys to explore the country. And the medicines here is amazing that 95% of the medications that we are selling as pharmacists apparently made from the herbal products. So it's time to explore the theme pharmacy in Chiang Mai, Thailand. So let's get to know more about us. Why we chose Chiang Mai? Chiang Mai is a very beautiful mountainous area with 39 destination flights to the international airport of Chiang Mai. It's a sizable city, it's overshadowed by the Mountain Suthep, and it has a historic center of northern Thailand. This is our secretary, by the way. Then our location of the accommodation is the Holiday Garden Hotel Resort. The accommodation can basically take all the pharmacy students because the maximum capacity is more than 300 people. And we are really looking forward to host around roughly 300 to 400 participants. It has swimming pool, free Wi-Fi, hotel shuttle, and also the 24-hour front desk. So if we cannot really accommodate our delegates, there's also the hotel staff that can help the delegates. With the hotel shuttle, we are really grateful because then it could reduce our cost of transportation from the airport to the hotel. The hotel also have the conference room. Including all of these with the maximum capacity to host for the symposium. And very luckily in Chiang Mai, there are two more universities that has a pharmacy school. One is Chiang Mai University that has around 800 students per year. And in Payap University, they have around 280 students of pharmacy per year. So we have grateful amount of pharmacy students that can be at hand and help us. Next, the transportation. When you come to Thailand, of course, there's tuk-tuk. And in Chiang Mai, there's this iconic car. It's called Red Car. You can take it anywhere like a taxi. And now we also have an application called Grab. I think some of you might have experience with that. And it's amazingly great to travel in Chiang Mai and very easy and convenient. Next, the theme of our APPS is something called APPS Go Green. It's going to be a sustainable symposium, which means that everything will be non-single-use plastic. And we also has a collaboration with the Dot Limited. This is the letter of supporting from the limited company. Everything will be refilled and we will have products, which is the getaway from us. Here, this is a souvenir that the delegates will be experienced all the goodie bag, including the bag, the t-shirt, the umbrella, because it's raining a lot and we don't know when it's going to rain, especially in August or July. And also we have a water bottle that delegates can fill in water along the way. So another thing that we would like to implement is the hackathon. APPS 24 will have the new ideation competition that we encouraged all the delegates from both on-site and online to join and compete, as hackathon is a very curiosity-driven teams, and it will really help us to initiate new idea, and it will be really productive for the event as well. Next is the tentative dates and the number of people we are expected. So it's going to be in June and July, and also the number of people is 300.
Okay, so about the speaker we are planning to reach out to for the opening ceremony, we will have Associate Professor Supatiranusson, who is an Associate Professor in Medicinal Chemistry, experience in drug design and development. For the symposium, the next slide, please. For the symposium, we will provide the symposium with 3 speakers, includes Dr. Kisanagai Sinthu, a Thai pharmacist who received world recognition as she created the first generic HIV cocktail drug known as GPO-Vir and increased access to life-saving medicines in Africa. For the next symposium, we will have Ms. Siritari Alamwat talking about pharmacy work through Miss International's perspective. Ms. Siritan is a Thai pharmacist now working as an immunotherapy product specialist. She is also a beauty pageant title holder of Miss International 2019. And the last symposium, we will have Dr. Nantakan Suwanpidokun, a Thai cannabinoid specialist and supervisor of the GPO Institute, taking responsibility for the research and development of Thai pharmaceutical products. And for the workshop, next slide please, The workshop in APPS Thailand 2024, we will provide you 5 traditional Thai workshops, including both indoor and outdoor activities, namely flower garland making, herbal compass ball, bosang umbrella handicraft, tie-dyed, and pottery clay handicraft. For social night events, we will have welcoming party in theme of Lan Na Lan Chai. You will enjoy a buffet of northern food in Thantok style while watching a traditional performance. For Thai Fancy Night, you will enjoy your night in the exhibition of Thai culture, where you can experience the difference in culture from 4 regions of Thailand. And if you were wondering why we called it fancy, you got to find out your answer in APPS Thailand 2024. Lastly, we will have international night providing exhibition booths of each country, talent show, and special show from Thailand. This is the timeline of our preparation, which divides into 4 phases according to this slide. Next slide, please. The registration fee will be 3 different prices depending on the phase of registration. The first phase will be 330 euros. The second phase will be 350 euros, and the third phase will be 370 euros. And for LIT registration fee will be 140 euros. Next slide, please. The detail of the budget is according to this slide. The total income will be 100,730 euros, and the expense will be 113,400 euros. So we will need a sponsorship amount of 13,000 euros. And here, the next slide, please see our expected partnership. Okay, we can go to the post-symposium tour. For the post-symposium tour, we will provide you with 3 options of travel programs, wherein different parts of Thailand include Phuket, Chiang Rai, and Bangkok. And I guess that's all from us. Looking forward to seeing you guys in APPS Thailand 2024. Thank you.
And I would like to add on some more information. At the moment, we are working with the TCEP, or the Thailand Conventional Exhibition Bureau, and we have secured a sponsorship of around 4,000 euro already. So the minute we get this bidding, we will get the support from them right away with 4,000 euro. And also it will be another additional of 3,000 euro adding on after we got a confirmation from APRO. So we are really looking forward to see you guys here in Thailand.
Thank you, the team from PSET Thailand, for the presentation. I would like to now open the floor for discussion. Any member of the assembly who wish to speak on the during the open discussion, please do so through the speaker list. Thank you. I would like to pass the ball to Sean, IPSF Chairperson of APPS 2022. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair, for the floor. Sean, APPS Chairperson 2022. Thank you, Manshari and Tango, for the amazing presentation. And I have a question for you guys. So inside your bidding proposal and also in your slides you just presented, I see that you have your executive team, chairperson, vice chairperson, and also secretaries. And I'm wondering about the grouping structure of the rest of the reception company. Can you elaborate? Thank you.
So our team, as for now, because we are the bidding part, and the process is actually by the timeline. So us 5 are just representing the team, but then we are having the PSAT Association who will be working alongside with us. In Thailand, we have 19 universities working together, and as you probably know that every university has the member in the PSAT positions. So we are it's very at hand that we can connect to each university. And also the local staff, since we have 2 universities locating in Chiang Mai, all the staff will also be recruiting from there. So we will put on the application for those who would like to work with us. Thai pharmacy students are very energetic and very active especially with the international events like this. So I'm pretty sure that we will have a handful amount of staff that will be helping us. And also Chiang Mai University themselves, they have another student from another faculties as well. If we really need another, like collaboration, we can also reach the other faculties. That's our plan for now with the staff.
Thank you. I just would like to remind the bidders from PSET to only speak when the floor is given to you. I'd like to pass now the floor to Andini Ismafasi Indonesia. The floor is yours.
Right, thank you, Chair, for giving the floor. Andini from IPSF Indonesia. So from your bidding presentation, I noticed that on the section about workshops, those mentioned workshops are all on the cultural or traditional Thai related workshops. So I was wondering if you already have any potential topics or workshop ideas for the educational workshop relating to pharmacy education. Thank you.
Thank you. Right now, I would like to pass the floor to the team from PSET. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. So we have some event that is on our schedule. It's something called Skills Market. So besides the workshop that we would like you to learn and endure our cultures, the skill markets will be provided for those who would like to experience the pharmacy professions. We will have both clinical and also industrial pharmacies. And this one will allow the hybrid delegates, which are online delegates, to experience such a workshop and also the talk as well. And if you see on the second night, there's also a pharmacy talk, which is going to be something like TED Talk. So we are inviting probably pharmacy students or very interesting persons to speak and give an idea about how they chose their path of pharmacy life. So I hope my answer is to your question.
Thank you. I'll now like to pass the floor to Ms. Fanny Annabelle from BMFFU Indonesia. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair. Fanny from the MFFUI. I would like to ask you, how will the hackathon competition that you have previously mentioned before relate to your general theme, considering that your theme is more related to herbal medicine and traditional stuff? Thank you.
Thank you. I would now like to pass the floor to the team from PSET Thailand. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. So basically, the hackathon will have its own pillars. We are focusing on health and medicines, but it's under processing that we think that hackathon shouldn't just be under just our event theme. The theme is there for you to experience the whole event, but the hackathon is something different because we are planning to do more than just pharmacy and also medications, because we have those business and something that you can learn from the hackathon. So I would say that the theme pharmacy and the hackathon theme will be distinguishedly separated.
Okay, thank you. I would now like to pass the floor to Observer. I believe it's Farah from Indonesia. Farah, Observer, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairperson, for the floor. I'm Farah from Indonesia as an observer. First of all, I would like to thank the APPS 2024 bidder team, PSAT, for preparing and presenting the bidding presentation. And my question would be, what kind of service will you provide for international participants in terms of like their entry and visa requirements? Thank you.
Thank you. I would now like to pass the floor to the team from PSET. 1 minute, the floor is yours.
We have our documentary team that will help you provide with visas, because I know that international travel will have some difficulties. For those who require visa, we'll have some a letter of confirmation from us that you are traveling to our event, and then you can submit it through the embassy. And if you really need help, for example, sending email to the embassy, we'll help you and provide all the documents you need for that.
Thank you. I would now like to pass the floor to Sean, IPSC Chairperson, APPS 2022. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair, for the floor. I have another question, that is, how are you planning to manage the media and publications that given that the situation, you will only start the promotion after the next mandate? Because promotion is a very important part when it comes to holding an international symposium like APPS. So yeah, that's my question.
Thank you, Sean. I would now like to pass the floor to the team from PSET. The floor is yours.
So with the promotion and stuff to reach the people, we are actually planning to gain more of the people from Thailand this time. So our announcement will not just bring, we were planning not to bring just international delegates, but also the domestic Thai pharmacy students as well. Because of COVID-19, I think is a great opportunity for us to bring people to the on-site event. And I'm pretty sure that when we provide our best as a publication or publicize, we hope that people are gonna see Thailand as a good opportunity, because when they come to Thailand, it's not just for the symposium, but also the travel destination that a lot of people are eyeing to come to. So we will start the mandate according to plan, and we have some optional plans if we do not have the delegates as expected.
Thank you. I would now like to pass the floor to Kimi, Observer HLN. The floor is yours.
Yes, thank you, TK, and thank you, the bidding team. I would like to ask some challenge question. Even though we are transition to the offline event again, but we don't know in 2 years what will happen. In case that we cannot host the offline event, for example, the COVID-19 or any other virus or disease that happen, I would like to ask if you have any backup plan that you still can make an online one, but still interest for people to register to join. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kimi, for the question. Now I'd like to pass the floor to the team from PSEP. The floor is yours.
Our team has been concerning about that because we have a lot of outbreak coming, and it's worry us too. So that's why we decided our conference, our symposium, as a hybrid theme. Therefore, if you look on the calendar and also on a tentative date, everything can also be hosted online. So every event, for example, hackathon, skill markets, all the talks, all the symposium can also be hosted online. So if it has to be 100% online, we are ready. And if it has to be 100% on site, we are also ready to do so.
I would now like to pass the chair of the assembly to Ms. Suin Lee, IPSF APRO's Regional Secretary. Please take the chair.
Thank you, Suin, IPSF APRO Secretary. TK, you have the floor for procedural point of information.
POI, yes, thank you. Thank you, Chair. TK, IPSF APRO Chairperson, as a EXCO member, as a member of the Executive Committee, I'm obliged to inform and remind the Assembly of the motion that was being passed from the General Assembly 2 years ago that discouraged member organizations from hosting IPSF events as a hybrid format. That was a motion that was passed 2 years ago. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, TK, for the point of information. I'll pass the floor back to TK as the chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Suin. Where are we? Okay, maybe we go back to the observer. Who was the observer that raised the new comment? Do we have any observer who raised the comment? Nope. Okay, then can I move on to Miss Fanny Annabelle from BEMFEF UI Indonesia? The floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair. Fanny from BEMFEF UI. I would like to ask, do you have any specific reasons why you chose Chiang Mai instead of Bangkok for 2024 APPS? Thank you.
Thank you, Fanny Annabelle. Before I pass the floor to PSET team, just want to remind to observe the standing order, which is first begin with acknowledgement to the chair to the floor, followed by stating your name and the association you're representing before you start to speak. With that, I would like to pass the floor to the bidding team from PSET Thailand. The floor is yours.
So the reason why we chose Chiang Mai was because it's actually far north, and because we have host certain events, for example, APPS and also the World Congress was also in the south. We realized that we would like to promote a tourism in Thailand, and Chiang Mai is an amazing travel spot. So we think that in order for the delegates to experience, Chiang Mai is probably better. And then because somebody has to travel in and from Bangkok anyway, so you will get to experience both Bangkok and Chiang Mai at the same time. That's we would like you to have a chance to experience more than just Bangkok, the capital city.
Thank you. Right now, I would like to pass the floor to observer. I believe it's Farah. Farah, observer, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairperson, for the floor. I'm Farah from Indonesia as an observer. So my question for PSAT is, do you think that by using sustainable packagings, it will increase your cost? Thank you.
Thank you, Fanny Annabelle from BFFU Indonesia. I'd like to pass the floor to the team from PSAT Thailand. The floor is yours.
I didn't really hear the last part. Is it okay if she repeat the question one more time?
Okay. I believe Fanny Annabelle was asking whether using sustainable packaging will increase the cost of the symposia.
Luckily, we got a supporting letter from the Dot Limited company, which is run by our professor from Faculty of Pharmaceutical Science, Khon Kaen University, that I go to. By doing this project, it means that we already have the sponsor at hand, and because of doing the refuel station and sustainable, I know it's expensive, but it's also one of the IPSF APRO focus project that we would like to save the environment. So if it costs a little more, but it save the world a little, we would really like to do so. So by now, we already have the supports from the company. So we think that we can save the cost as much as we can.
Okay, thank you. Can I get the speaker list to be cleared? Meanwhile, I just wanted to remind once again the standing orders to acknowledge the floor, the chair for the floor, and end your comments by saying thank you before you pass the floor back. I'll now, I believe the observer has finished commenting as well. Can we clear the speaker list, please? And I believe the next person is Sean from IPSF Chairperson of APPS 2022. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair, for the floor. For the floor, Sean, APPS Chairperson 2022. Okay, just a question for Manshuri. So how, as we have observed, you have already won the election for a regional projects officer for the mandate 2022-23. And my question is, according to the proposed working timeline, preparing timeline that it's in your bidding proposal, how are you planning to manage the RPO position and also preparing for APPS 2024 at the same time? Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Can I request for you to rephrase your question to relate the main topic to APPS 2024 instead of
okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank
you, Chair. Sean, APPS 2022 Chairperson. So, how are you planning to manage the preparation period of APPS 2024, given that you might have a pretty hectic year ahead of you? Thank you.
Thank you. I believe Sean was asking, how do we ensure smooth processing and proceeding and planning of APPS 2024, considering the election outcomes, and how do you plan to make sure that the leadership of APPS as well as execution planning goes smoothly? And I would like to pass the floor to the team from PSET. The floor is yours.
Thank you for the question, Sean, and thank you for the time, Chairperson. I would like to say that we have been managing this internally, and I have a really great team. I would like to tell you that because of my vice presidents, lots of work can be delegated, and because you are the chairperson doesn't mean you cannot manage the work without other works alongside, because as human, we have different roles. And I believe that as a chairperson, I could also work well with all other duties. What I can tell you is that we also can, the position can also be changed. If any others, overworking, I'm very sure I could pass on the work to my vice and they could step up as a chairperson in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. I would now like to pass the floor to Observer, Kimi HLM. The floor is yours.
Thank you, TK. Kimi, HLM from Thailand. I have another question to the bidding teams as recent years, IPSF tried to maximize the resource that we have from alumni and also maybe friend of federations or HLMs or some one who has experience and already work in the professional field. I would like to ask if you have plan to maximize this resource or any plan to invite them or ask them as a sponsor or maybe some support that could benefit to your event. Thank you.
Thank you, Kimi, for the question. I would like to pass the floor to PSET Thailand. The bidding team from PSET Thailand, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson, and thank you, Kimi, for the questions. I believe that a professional pharmacist are very indeed needed in the symposium. As a pharmacy student or a recent graduate would really learn a lot from them. So in Asia Pacific, there's something called the Asian Young Pharmacist Group or the AYPG that we have been working together for quite some time. And I do believe that we can invite them to be part of this symposium. It would be very beneficial if they could join our skill markets. But I'm also a part of the TAISA, the Thai Young Scientists group, that we can also reach to other scientists in other professions to help us in this symposium as well. Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to ask to clear the speaker list, and any member of the assembly who wish to speak further on this matter, please put your new comments through the speaker list in the next 10 seconds. Motion committee, please help to make sure the speaker list is updated. Okay, observer, can you identify yourself? Who's the may I know who's the observer who put the new comment? Okay, wait, is there anyone waving at me in the camera? Who is the observer who raised the comment? Okay, this is not the first time any observer put a new comment in the speaker list and failed to identify him or herself. So I'm gonna not acknowledge this since there was no acknowledgement from the observer, him or herself. So thank you. Any other members of the assembly who wish to speak on this matter, please put your comments through the speaker list. Okay, can I know who is the observer who wished to speak on this? Thank you. Alan, observer, the floor is yours.
Right, thank you, Chair. This is Alan, observer from Malaysia. Thank you for your presentation. It does bring me back memories of 2017 IPS Thailand. My question would be regarding your LIT. As in the previous as leaders in training usually requires requires the regional committee, the reception committee for APPS to invite IPSF trainers, so trainers from the IPSF organization itself, to train leaders from within the country, to train leaders across APRO region regarding certain leadership skills. I would just like to ask regarding if you have any plans regarding the LIT itself, just for that section. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. I'll allow now to pass the floor back to the bidding team from PSET Thailand. The floor is yours.
If I understand the question correctly, whether the LIT will be, could you clarify the question one more time? Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. I understand it was a bit convoluted. I would just like to understand if you have any plans for the leaders in training, or any specific details or any vision you have in mind for it. Yeah. Thank you.
So, do I have the floor, Mr. Chairperson?
Okay. Thank you, Ellen, for clarifying the question. The bidding team from PSET. Yeah, the floor is yours.
Thank you for the floor. We also have the plan that as we have a very experienced supporter from us, Kimi is also one of the very experienced alumni that we have, and we have been asking her a lot. So she will also be one of the person we invited to. But the LIT in our vision this time is that we would like to provide, another perspective towards pharmacy world, because, we graduate from pharmacy school, and also we are mostly focusing on the pharmacy profession. Doesn't mean that because you graduate from here, you have to work as a pharmacist. So LIT for us, we would like to bring more of the work and the persons rather than just the topics and objectives that we have. And the vision is just to bring any experience to one place in Chiang Mai as much as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Observer who just raised the comment, please identify yourself. I see that there is no identification. We will disregard that as well. Please help me clear the speaker list. If there's any member of the assembly who wish to speak on this matter, please input your will to speak through the speaker list. Okay, I see that there's none, so I'd like to proceed to close the discussion for open discussion for this motion and proceed to close discussion. Please help me to pause the live stream. Live stream. Hi, Moises. Okay, looks like Moises.
Hello? No.